Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Purple Haze Podcast. I am your host who bleeds purple and gold, Isaac here. Well, your Minnesota Vikings, they do it again. They improved to 13-2. They get their 8th win in a row, defeating the Seattle Seahawks at Lumen Field on the road. Final score 27-24. This game defines the this game, I believe, really defines who the Vikings are. They are basically based upon what Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi Mensah built upon. This was the exact representation of the game. Overcoming adversity, just being a tough out and keep on, and they just continue to scratch and claw until the clock hits 0. Man, this team is something special, man. This is so exciting, man. They keep their number 1 seed and the NFC North title alive too as well with this game, man. Absolute tough win. Very hard fought win by the Vikings. So, let's start off with the good. Speaking of tough, Sam Darnold. You gotta respect him, man. He deserves nothing but respect from me. He is 22 of 35, 246 yards, 3 touchdowns. And that is in spite of taking 3 sacks, and he's getting hit all over the place. Brutal. Because the offensive line is just hard to watch, man. But in spite of all that, especially the second to last drive by the Vikings, where it's like everybody knew exactly what Sam Darnold was going to do on that drive. He delivered again. That 39-yard touchdown where he was getting hit as he delivers a strike to Justin Jefferson for a 39-yard touchdown. Incredible day by Sam Darnold, man. He has been awesome this season. He is the reason why you are 13-2 right now, man. Incredible, man. Sam Darnold, I didn't think he would be this good, but boy, oh boy, is he showing it, man. Aaron Jones, not a bad day at the office. 18 for 67, 3 catches for 26 yards. Not a bad day for Aaron Jones, really. He had 93 all-purpose yards. He also has 1,000 rushing yards in the season for the Vikings, so he has been outstanding. Aaron Jones, man, he has been great. He did not fumble the ball also. Also, Justin Jefferson, I mean, go figure, the best receiver ever. 10 catches, 144 yards, 2 touchdowns. He is the sole reason. I mean, he is the heart and soul of the Vikings wide receiver core, man. He's the best receiver without question. Got that game-winning touchdown, 39-yard touchdown. I mean, I don't count that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on him. That's not on him at all. Jordan Addison, 5 catches for 35 yards and a touchdown. Most of the damage was in the first half. Just wish I would have saw a little bit more from Jordan Addison, but no biggie, though. I'm not worried about him, though, at all. And also going to some of the defensive efforts that were out there, there was quite a bit, honestly. Byron Murphy Jr. led the team with tackles, had 10 tackles. Not only, I mean, he has been very good this season. Not only like the interceptions, that's part of it, but also think about some of the non-interceptions. That was on display against Seattle. He had some very nice pass coverages and pass breakup. He was a complete blanket out there in the secondary. Andrew Van Ginkel, 2 tackles, 2 sacks on the day. 5 tackles and 2 sacks. He was incredible, man. He was also the major factor for helping the Seattle Seahawks on their second possession to minimize the damage and only allow them to kick a 60-yard field goal and force them to kick a 60-yard field goal. Andrew Van Ginkel, I think, was really the only part of the defensive lineman that was productive as in terms of sacks. He was the only 2 sacks of the day. Theo Jackson also was a big playmaker in the safety area. I tell you, when I say this, we have one of the most underrated safety room. 3 tackles, had a game-sealing interception. Also, I think he made back-to-back big-time plays. Also, he made another play. I don't remember what it was, but Theo Jackson, he was awesome. Dallas Turner had an interception too as well, covering DK Metcalf. Wow, that was amazing, man. So Dallas Turner was amazing. Josh Metellus made some big-time plays in the run and also hit the quarterback early on. Josh Metellus was good. Will Reichard was perfect today, 5 for 5. And he remains Mr. Perfect. Ryan Wright had some huge booming punts that flipped the field in the Vikings' favor. Multiple of those. Kevin O'Connell. Gotta respect this coach, man. I mean, obviously, not only is he getting this team to play hard for him, I mean, he creates that energy just as much as Dan Campbell. He is definitely in the running for Coach of the Year. But also, think about his play calling. I have never said this is. He has gotten so much better at situational play calling. Is it 100% perfect? No, but he has gotten so much better at play calling, man. That is exactly what I like to see out of the head coach. And plus, 2 13-win seasons. Awesome job by him. Some of the bads as far as like why it was a game and why it was kind of sloppy and messy a bit and the adversity. The offensive line has been atrocious. Go figure. They allowed 3 sacks onto Sam Darnold. Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. This does concern me about the playoffs, though. I mean, this is definitely really concerning, though. And also some dropped passes. There were 3 dropped offensive passes that would have extended the Vikings' drives. TJ Hawkinson had a drop pass. Josh Oliver had a drop pass. And, of course, go figure that was Jalen Naylor that dropped a pass. I mean, Sam Darnold hit them on perfect targets, and they just did not make that catch. See, the drop, I get that it's raining, and the ball can be a bit slippery at times, but you got to catch the football. I mean, I don't want to see Jalen Naylor, though. TJ Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, they've been great outside of those drop passes. But I don't want to see Jalen Naylor, though. Again, man, this is not the receiver for a recipe for a playoff run. He does not need to be on the field. Trent Sherfield is better than him. The pass rush production was really disappointing outside of Andrew Van Ginkel. And it was just non-existent throughout the entirety of the game. I mean, the Seattle Seahawks offensive line was really bad, and Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker had all the time in the world and all the holes in the world, man. So the pass production was really disappointing. I thought they would get after Geno Smith and all that, but they simply didn't. The zone coverage, just some little zone coverage details where the Vikings just backpedaled and just prevented their way, and then usually every time that would happen, the Seahawks would get a first down or a big play off of them. So, I mean, I feel like Brian Flores really needs to keep consistent on doing man-to-man press, because that has worked more oftentimes than not. So, you need to go with that. And also, the officiating crew was, they were complete clowns out there. Yes, they were. There were so many holding penalties on the Seahawks offensive line. They missed at least 8 or 9, including I believe 2 penalties. They also marked them on that 4th down play by Seattle. They also marked that short. Really? The ball wasn't even close to the sticks, and they just did it. And also, forget about that fact. How about the celebration? What? You're not allowed to celebrate? Like Justin Jefferson and that first touchdown that they had, they called unsportsmanlike conduct. And Theo Jackson, for that matter, for that game-sealing interception, for just over excessive celebration. It's the NFL. They can have fun whenever they want. The referees have been atrocious. They need to be fired right on the spot in Seattle. They need to be fired. The referees were bad out there, man. So, but it got personal for the Vikings, but it doesn't even matter. Because the Vikings, they found a way to win. They showed a ton of heart. They showed a ton of fight in this team, man. I mean, I am willing to go as far as basically, though, I mean, I just expect the Vikings to win. I always expect it. You know, whenever they're down, you know, it's like, okay. It's usually with, like, Vikings games, like, oh, how are they going to screw up? Are they going to do it or not? But right now with the Vikings, it's like, let them do their thing. Just relax. So, man, this team is incredible, man. I am so excited for this season to come and the postseason, man. For the future. The Vikings, they are in really, really good shape, man. And also, I would like to also give a shout out, you know, to, he asked me to do this, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to give a shout out to Andrew Land. I'm going to shout out to Andrew, my friend, who just became a Vikings fan this year, his first time. And just welcome to the Skull Nation, Andrew. So he's basically just one of my friends that I work with. So he just decided to become a Vikings fan this year. So welcome along to the ride, Andrew. You know, there are a ton of though ups and downs with this team, but you picked a good time to be. But this is the perfect team for you to become a Vikings fan. Because I was a fan, because I'll tell you what, I was a fan since 2012, and with the Mike Zimmer and Leslie Frazier era, where it would just be the same story. But now with Kevin O'Connell, they are a different football team, and in a very good way. So shout out to you, Andrew, for becoming a new Vikings fan. Shout out to you, man. So yeah, they're a good football team, man. That's all I gotta really say, man. I am so excited. They have 2 more games left. Green Bay at home, Detroit for a showdown for the NFC North title. They have to win against the Packers, and then they're good. I absolutely, if it's anybody that can find a way to win and be a tough football team, it's the Vikings. All the way, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Skull Vikings.